circling her nipples. Oh, okay. So now we got the... Okay, let's go over our routine, people. Yeah, something like that. Kathy's pulse was racing. Wow. The heat of her passion overwhelming her. She was experiencing desire, true desire, for the first time in her life, and ached to have him inside of her. Her body was growing feverish with rapture. Oh, Jesus! He opened my knees with his knee! Oh, my God! And her breath was stolen when he finally did place his manhood at the place where his hands had been earlier caressing her. This sounds like an I Love Lucy episode. We don't ever say pregnant on I Love Lucy. We don't ever say penis or vagina in a romance novel. We just don't. Jessica's currently checking to see if we still have any battery power left.
A third.
A third! Look at that, we're lucky. Or horribly damned. I really don't know. She gasped with pleasure against his lips as he slowly set himself inside of her. Yes, so slowly, which she knew he was doing to prepare her for what was to come. Oh my God, it's hot. His patience, his sweetness, would always be remembered by her. It was just another example of the kindness she had known on that first day when she had met him. I love you so much, Breda whispered against her lips. I have never needed anything as much as I need this now with you. I, too, am filled with such need, such love. Sounds like a third-grade play. I, too, feel this love for you, yes. Oh, add to our little chain here, we have the knee pop, move the manhood, touch the thigh, cup the breasts, touch the nipples with the thumb, and now we have newest step, get it? Okay. Against the lips. I love you. I too am filled with such need, such love. Yeah. Is this turning you on? I hope to God it isn't. She twined her arms around his neck. She lifted herself up against him because he ain't gonna do all the work. Then spread her legs, herself, much more widely open as he made one last plunge that took him deep inside her. The pleasure was instant for Cassia. She gasped and moaned as she clung to him, an erotic heat knifing through her body, stabbing deeply into that place where she had been deflowered so innocently long ago. She was glad now because there was no pain, so she didn't have to deal with that, yada yada yada. When he reached for her legs and urged them around him at his waist, she complied and understood immediately why he had asked this of her. It brought him even more deeply into her. Let's just drag it out. Painfully. She may have been deflowered, but this is still painful. She could feel his heat almost clean into her heart as he continued his deep thrusts, his hands now at her hips, lifting her closer and closer to his body. How close can you get? He's already, smashed onto her. Just more painful. His mouth scorched hers again when he kissed her. She groaned against his lips, flooded with emotion that she would always remember. Waves of ecstasy washed through her as his steely arms enfolded her again, crushing her breasts against his muscled chest. Crushing her breasts? She has been... How can you crush breasts that have continually been described as small? I'm sorry. I'm a larger-breasted woman. I don't understand these things. The euphoria that filled Bright-Arrow's being... Oh, we got the man's side. Oh! This is so much fun to read in a German, Russian, Spanish, French... Swedish accent. Who knows what kind of accent it is, but it's just fun. The euphoria that filled Bright-Arrow's being was almost more than he could bear as he continued thrusting inside her, rhythmically, demandingly. And then he was overcome with a feverish heat, and he knew that he could not hold back any longer. That was kind of Russian in that one. Sounded like Mr. Chekhov from Star Trek. Sorry. Geek. He adjusted their bodies slightly as he made that one last plunge that spilled his seed into her. Let's call it seed. Okay, honey, we're going to talk about this and call it your flower. And this is a man's seed. That's sexy. Yeah. Sorry. Bunnies are more sexy. Yeah. As they lay quietly together, each clinging, their breaths rapid, their sighs long and leisurely. I never knew such bliss could exist between a man and a woman, Cassie murmured, as Bright Arrow slowly rolled away from her. She reached for him and slowly stroked his chest as he lay on his back beside her, his eyes closed, his breath still rapid. Oh, It exists now and forever between us, Bright Arrow said, reaching up and taking her hand. When he placed it on his manhood, which had just lost some of its fullness, she watched in awe. Just touching it made it grow again to the size she knew must be Rewind. Just touching him made it grow again to a size she knew must be greater than most men's. I'm not even going to give any commentary on that. Just move your hand on me for a while, Bright Arrow said huskily as he took his hand away from hers. He held his eyes closed, and as she did what he asked, her eyes watching her hand and him, realizing that she had just stepped over an invisible barrier between what her life had always been and now would be. This man, and the wonders of his body, and the beauty of his love for her, were hers life was... Hi, Ashley. We're videotaping.
Oh, were you videotaping?
We are currently videotaping. Just a minute.
Did you videotape anything recently?
Right now, we're videotaping. The little light is on.
Just in the house?
No! We're videotaping right now!
So you're in the house, you haven't started videotaping until now.
Oh my god, she doesn't get it. She doesn't get it, I'm telling you. Okay. Last little section. Here we go. Oh, she realized she stepped over some invisible barrier, and she's all like, this man and the wonders of his body and the beauty of his love for her were her life now. Wow. For only a moment she thought of being on the stage for your wedding, remembering her life as a possible ballerina. But now, this was her stage. Her stage. She's sitting there, awkwardly touching his really big manhood. This is her stage. Poor girl. I would not even want to be in, like, the farthest balcony. Ugh. This was her pleasure. He was her everything. And then we have this little tiny paragraph. So technically they do have sex twice. Oh my gosh. Oh. When he rose above her and slid his heat back inside of her, he began moving inside her with slow, steady strokes. Cassie moaned with pleasure and again became lost in total ecstasy. I think that one was actually better than the first one.
Wow, that's a good
yeah,
thing to come into this house and hear.
That's Ashley, by the by. Bye.